Hey guys, it's Chris with Double Eagle Gunworks, and we're out here on the range today, and we're going to be taking a look at the Lyman digital trigger gauge. And what this does is it measures the amount of force that it takes to activate the trigger on a gun. So whether it be in single action mode or double action mode, it'll measure the pound force that it takes to actually make the gun fire. So we're going to have a couple of different guns out here that we're going to be testing. Got a couple of different revolvers, got a semi-auto pistol, and we've got a AR style rifle and a bolt action rifle that we're going to be looking at to measure the trigger gauge, or the trigger weight, pull weight. So the way this thing works, when you turn it on, you put the trigger in this little roller right here, and this the arm will go at different angles depending on which way you need to be able to get to the trigger. So if you wanted to do it this way, you could do it that way, or if you wanted to pull it straight this way, then you've got the options to be able to move this arm in 4 different angles to be able to measure it whichever way is easier for you to get to the trigger on whatever gun you happen to be using. So let's take a look at a couple of different ones and see what the difference in the trigger pull weight is. We'll turn it on, and it has on the screen here, it has the weight in pounds and then ounces over here on the side. So let's start with a this is a Smith & Wesson 686 plus pistol and single action and double action revolver. So we'll start with it in single action and see what the pull weight is on it. Nope. Let's try that one more time. Okay, for a single action on the Smith, it was 3 pounds 8.5 ounces. So let's do that again. Take the average of a couple of different trigger pulls. Okay, 3 pounds 9.6 ounces. We'll do one more, and then we'll take a 3-shot average and see what it comes up to. 3 pounds 11.3 ounces. So the average for the 3 different trigger pulls on the single action mode for the Smith is 3 pounds 9.8 ounces. So just under 4 pound trigger pull. Now that's in single action mode. So let's try double action. £11 pounds 2.6 ounces. Okay. £11 pounds 15.5 ounces. £11 pounds 12.7. So the average on the double action trigger pull for the Smith is 11 pounds 10.3 ounces. So it's a fairly stiff trigger pull on the Smith in double action mode. Okay, now this is a little Taurus revolver, and it's also single action, double action, and this is the first gun that my wife bought for her carry gun, and she didn't like it because it had such a stiff trigger on it. So let's test it and see what the trigger weight is on it, and then we'll look at the gun that she carries now to see how much difference there is in between the two guns. So single action mode for the Taurus. That first shot just never wants to. Okay, I'm doing something wrong. Okay, on the Taurus, 4 pounds, 1.2 ounces for the single action. Let's try again. Four pounds, 3.9 ounces. Four pounds, 6.4 ounces. So the average for the Taurus is 4 pounds, 3.9 ounces in single action mode. So let's check out double action now. Okay, 10 pounds, 5.3 ounces. £10, 7.2 ounces. £10, 9.6 ounces. For an average of 10 pounds, 7.3 ounces. So it's a fairly stiff trigger in that little Taurus there. So now we'll clear that, and we'll get that last round out. Okay, so this is a Ruger LCR revolver here, so let's check out the trigger pull on this one. Okay, 4 pounds, 6.3. £4, 12.4. £4, 9.4. So for an average of 4 pounds, 9.4 ounces on the single action. Now for double action. So on the Taurus, we were at over 10 pounds, almost in between 10 and 11 pounds on the trigger pull for the double action on that one. Let's see what the Ruger is going to be here. £10, 12.3. £10, 9.7. £10, 10.6. So for an average of 10 pounds, 10.9 ounces. So actually the trigger weight, pull weight is about the same in between the two guns. So there must be something about the feel of the guns that's a little bit different, that makes one feel different than the other, and then she just likes the feel of the Ruger better than the Taurus. Who knows? Okay, this is a HK45 single action, double action pistol. So right now it's set for single action. So let's test out the trigger on it. And this has got the LE option on the trigger, so it's a little bit different style trigger than just your standard single action, double action trigger. 4 pounds 7 ounces. 4 pounds 11.2 ounces. 4 pounds 13.5 for an average of 4 pounds 10.6 ounces. So that's in single action mode. In double action, let's see what it is on this one. Why that first one never wants to go. Okay. 10 pounds 8.4 ounces. 10 pounds 12.5. 10 pounds 12.7. So for an average 10 pounds 11.2 ounces. So in double action mode, this one's got a pretty stiff trigger as well, but in single action it's fairly easy. So now let's look at an AR. So this is just a pretty well a standard trigger. In the AR, it's just mil-spec triggers, not anything that was really out of the ordinary when I built this gun. It's just standard trigger. Got a little bit upgraded than standard mil-spec, but not much. Six pounds 6.7 ounces. 6 pounds 5.5 ounces. 5 pounds 2.4. So for an average of 5 pounds 15.5 ounces for the AR. Now this one here is a Ruger American bolt action rifle, just standard trigger that comes with the Ruger American. So we'll clear those and test it out. Three pounds 5.9 ounces. 3 pounds 11 ounces. 3 pounds 9.8. So for an average of 3 pounds 8.9 ounces on the trigger. So based on that, the bolt action has a fairly light trigger in it, and this one you can actually take it out and adjust it to a little bit lighter than that, but wouldn't want to go a whole lot lighter than that. Be too easy to misfire. And the with the AR, if you do a like a match grade trigger, or you do one of the drop-in triggers that is a nicer trigger than just standard mil spec, you can get the triggers in the ARs down to 3 to 4 pounds without any problem. handguns and the semi-autos, the revolvers and the semi-autos, that's about typical what you would find in those type guns. If you took them to a gunsmith and had the triggers polished a little bit, you might could drop the trigger pull on them just a little bit, but you don't want to do anything that's going to be real drastic on the triggers, because you don't want to get it what they would be considered the old style hair trigger, where it would just, all you had to do is just barely touch it and make the gun go off, because that's a very dangerous way to carry a gun. So the trigger weight is there to help keep the gun from firing accidentally. So it needs to have a little bit of weight behind it, so that it takes a little bit of effort to be able to fire the gun. Especially with the guns that you would carry that are single action, double action guns. That first shot in double action, you're going to have to make sure that that's what you're wanting to do. It's not going to be a real easy way to accidentally fire that gun, because it's got such a heavy trigger pull. It takes a lot of effort to be able to actually pull that trigger and make the gun go off. So if you like the video, like and subscribe down at the bottom, and check out doubleeaglegunworks.com for more information.